Welcome back. Now it is a political script whose are all too familiar and are prone to change like the proverbial forest. The political heat of an election more than 2 weeks away is palpable as alignments and realignments. Let's make sense of the 2027 game plan. Just a reminder of who our guest is with me in studio, Professor Peter Kagwanja, a scholar and Deputy Party Strategy, the People's Liberation Party. Prof, we will come to the new title, but good evening and
Thank you very much.
And thank you for making time for us tonight.
Yes.
An election 752 days away, Prof, is seemingly at the heart of political contest. Why is Kenya, from an observation point of view, really politicking?
Well, I think since the onset of multi-party democracy in 1992, Kenya has entered what you call perpetual campaign. But this is not uniquely Kenyan, so to say, because it is the rise of IT, particularly the emergence of social media. So you wake up to politics, you sleep, politics. Normal. But most of the times, or in the past, much of this politics has not been as robust and as confrontational as we've seen it in this term. And you remember President William Ruto was sworn in on the 13th of September. And by the 23rd of January, almost 100 days to the day, we had the worst public protests. Ever since, we have had a series of protests of what you would call legitimate grievances of Kenyans. They were promised things that have not been met. Rising cost of living, taxation, failure to competent to deliver on health and education, the key issue.
And Prof, you say this is, the politicking part of it is normal, but this time particularly...
It has taken a very dangerous turn, which is also claiming lives of our children and also pushing our country to the edge.
And Prof, we'll come to the consequences, but is this political taking shape, as some say, a natural process, or as the government claims, to be engineered by someone from somewhere?
It's a very natural process, and obviously it is not only Kenya. You go to France, you go to many other countries. America is tinkering on the brink, and so on. So there is a downturn in the economies globally, but in Kenya it has taken a turn because of I think the response. Sometimes the nature of leadership and its capacity to listen to the population difference. And when things are dire, leadership will determine whether the scale of tension will go up or will come down.
Needless to ask, Prof, but are you in the current regime of being...
Obviously, I've never minced my words that I supported this regime as it came in. I'm who said President William Ruto won the election in 2022 fair and square, contrary to what supporters of Raila Odinga and others were saying. We said he won fair and square. Why? Because he raised the Kenyan dream to its highest level through the Hasra dynasty, campaign. But 100 days later, many Kenyans began to see that what you look like a revolution of expectation now became a new revolution, what is now morphing into the Gen Z revolution. Now, why is that? Because politics is not about what you're doing or what you think you're doing. It is how people perceive you as you're doing. And it is in politics where perception is more important than reality. The battle we've been having is that of the government, trying to make the point that we have achieved, heaven for you. And the people saying, we are on the gates of hell. Can we pull back?
Is that to suppose there is a mismatch?
Yes, there's a mismatch. And the moment the government gets into the business of convincing the public that it is doing much, and the public is disputing that kind of politics is not extremely healthy. And this is where we find ourselves. This is not to say, let's be clear, that President William Ruto has not achieved anything. You'd be missing the point. Why? Because sometimes it is not even the leadership that will be required to count on the winnings, but the way the state is structured. In this republic, we have institutions which have been built over the last 60 years. They're expected to deliver. I think the problem we have had is that we have not identified the core problems in our country. We started off badly by imagining that you can tax people to prosperity.